Hey everyone, this is Captain Horfe, and welcome to episode 14 of Horfe Plays Resonant Rise 3. So, every once in a while I just come out here and clear this farm. These mandrakes are fun. I don't know if you've ever seen mandrake harvesting, but it's a party. But most importantly, I did get 9 endstone together just putting resonant ender into sandstone, and I planted those ender lilies, and oh my goodness, there's another mature one. This is going to make all the difference in the world. Every mod requires tons of ender pearls, and killing endermen just doesn't really get you very many that quickly. So if you look in here, uh, yeah, I've got 10 ender pearls now. Really, really, really nice. And I should get a bumper of like 9 ender pearls pretty frequently. I am excited about that. What else should we review real quick? This is going nicely. Yeah, this one is pretty full, and this is one I use for the runic altar and such. Let me make sure I got a full mana tablet. Yeah, it's going pretty nice, so eventually that'll all be full. I had this guy just making wood for a while. Now he's back on smelting everything into charcoal. Munchdu's working out pretty damn well. As you can see, he's eating the leaves on that tree now. Sometimes the minecart gets to it and gets some of them, but usually everything is fine. And there are some trees that are outside the Munchdu's influence, so this thing will never run out of saplings. And as you can see, this is all mana just from the Munchdu. It's a pretty decent amount of mana. So, really a nice little addition, just a little extra source of mana. I'm going to try to have as many extra sources of mana as possible. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be reviewed. This works great. I've had to work on an item filter. So at the moment, any of these will go in. I need to throw a tin ore in there. I just haven't had one. So I don't think an item filter is going to be enough. Like the metallurgy stuff isn't in the item filter, etc. But the thing is, the reason I have an item filter is if something gets in here that's not supposed to go in there, this gets clogged, and you actually have to go inside the darn thing to fix it, which is like a little annoying. It's not the end of the world, but it's annoying. I rearranged my chest a bit. This is all Botania now. This is going to be all the other magic mods. Anyway, probably don't need to know all that. This design is working great. I've personally watched when the battery gets low, it pops it off, and pops on the generator, I mean. And the other cool thing is you can actually charge 4 things at once in here, which is pretty cool. So I can get all my stuff charged up. I like it. And we've gone through about 4 of these, which is not too bad for how much power we've run and how many cycles this has gone through. I mean, I just went manually mining off camera. So we've gone through 4. I probably got like 2.5 stacks last time I went mining. So no worries there. Alright, so I know what I want to get started on next. I just need to get the stuff together to do it. Alright, so first off, you might notice, like, this is really how much gold and diamonds I have. Gold is always so hard to find for me. It doesn't seem to matter what mod pack. I have so much trouble finding gold. And thanks to my hammer, Fortune 3, I've got 49 diamonds. And it was like a piece of cake. Like, diamonds are not a problem. Gold is a constant problem for me. So, I know there's ways to make it with metallurgy. I keep meaning to look into it. Maybe I'll do it off camera this episode if I run out of gold. That's probably what I'm doing, is when I run out of gold and I just absolutely need gold. But anyway, enough talk. Let us make a blood altar. Oh yeah. We're gonna start doing some blood magic. And we're gonna get a sacrificial knife. Just a little prick. Maturity filter. Engage. So we got that, and that's really technically all we need to get started. Although there will be more stuff we will need to make to progress. So anyway, down here we got our power generation room. Everything looks very, nice and normal. But if we go over here, cut out this big area. There's water behind here. I'm gonna have to deal with it yet, but I'm not gonna deal with it until my blood altar needs to be of that size. So anyway, this log represents the middle of the area that I dug out and designated for this room. Uh, I haven't done a ton of blood magic. I've done it once, and I didn't progress all the way. What's annoying is that there are mobs that spawn in there. At some point, I'm going to go in there and clear it out and light it up so I don't have to listen to mobs. But anyway, here's a blood altar, and let's start hurting myself. Get some life in there. Now, we're gonna need to obviously decide on a way to regenerate, because this, oops, didn't throw that in there, because this is terribly slow. But basically what I want to do is get my blood in there, get this filled up with some blood so that I can start progressing through the beginning parts of blood magic, and we can go from there. So I have a couple options for regeneration. One is really, really cheap and cheesy and bad, and kind of breaks the game a bit. So let's start with that one. Alright, first thing we're going to need is a rune of spring. So that's a rune of water, a rune of fire. I made a ton of these basic elemental runes, by the way. A wheat, 3 saplings, and that's going to be our rune of spring. That's the first thing we're going to need. I might try stockpiling some of these runes, although I think, yeah, you only get one at a time. So that's the first thing we need. So, 2 white mana petals, 1 normal white petal, 1 orange mana petal, 1 yellow mana petal, 1 brown mana petal, and the rune spring should give us the fallen Kinade. I'm not an angel. This is basically a regeneration flower. It's a flower that breaks blood magic's early game so badly that Wave Time actually added a hunger debuff if this damn thing is around. I don't blame them. I reserve judgment on whether or not I'm going to actually use it, but figured I'd show it to you and set it up because, you know, probably going to end up using it. Alright, so, I'll put the Fallen Kinade down by the blood altar. Not doing anything, of course, because no mana. And actually, I should probably put that more like, we'll put it back here. It doesn't have to be right next to this thing. And then, are you accepting mana? Let me give him a chunk of my mana tablet. I don't know how much mana this thing actually uses, so what I'm probably going to end up doing is, yeah, I think about half of it. I'll pick it up, and then when I need the regen, I'll plunk it down. So, and I better bring apples because my hunger is going to be raw. So, let's start hurting myself some more. As you can see, it is really cheap. See, I've got the hunger 3, regen 3, hunger 3. And so I have to keep eating apples, which is not a big deal. It just costs food. What it means is that it basically costs food, which is a cheap resource. So this is one way to do it. What I might probably end up doing, though, is to be a little more legit, is I might try to make some regen potions, or I don't know. Let's be honest, I'm gonna use this. Because you don't need it later. This is just early game stuff. Alright, Kinade. But I mean, those are the other options. You can use potions, there's lots of stuff you can use. Now we got this set up. Basically, I need stone. I need to create a ton of slates, and I need to create a blood orb. So, I'm going to need a couple things to do that. Alright, so I need a blood orb. Tier 1 blood orb is diamond in the blood altar. Meanwhile, I can slam down a couple chests. I'll see what for soon enough. But basically, a transfer node for stuff to go into the chest, or into the altar, and a transfer node of stuff to go out. Whoops! I might want to consider letting that finish first. I'm hoping that's a dupe diamond, or not a. I'm hoping it's not a dupe diamond. Excuse me. Excuse you. Alright, let's just add a little blood and make sure this process does not fail. I'm actually, even though I haven't done a lot of blood magic, I'm notorious at killing myself with blood magic, so maybe you'll get to see some of that humanity. And there we go, tier 1 blood altar. Cool. Let's grab this guy. Okay, that's a weird little visual glitches going on. Anyway, I'm gonna throw a stone. Okay, it just takes a second to go away. I'm gonna throw a stone in here, and what happens with the stone is it becomes a slate. Pretty standard operating behavior. Cool. So these slates are pretty much what you need to build everything. Yeah, that's a weird glitch. I might have to restart my client to make that visual lag go away. So really what I want to do is I want to pull items out, but I really only want to pull out the slate. So we'll use an item filter. This is what I'm doing is nothing fancy. It's very straightforward. I've seen a million people do it. It's just simple automation of your blood altar. So basically, don't pull it out until it's a blank slate. Slam the item filter in here, and then we should be able to throw a stack of stone in here. Is it throwing in more than one at a time? I didn't know you could do more than one at a time. Or is this just visual glitches? Stay tuned and let's find out together. Yeah, it's pumping the whole stack in there. Can it really do the whole stack at once? It's gonna need a lot of blood, I know that. Where's my grenade? So that's interesting. And weird. And I just pulled out the whole stack at once. Okay. Very weird. If I do it by hand, I wonder. Yeah. That's interesting. I swear I've seen people set this up, though. Well, we might have to do this a little more manually than I thought. Alright, well, it actually seems like it works. It's just not a natural mechanic. Like, I can't manually shove a bunch of these in here, so I don't really like that. But I know what I'm going to do, so we'll just pop this off for now, and fortunately there are other ways to move stuff. Alright, so gold, piston, redstone, iron, ender pearl. We get 2 item translocators. Cool. And then I'm just going to run downstairs with these. Now that I have ender pearls, I don't mind spending 1 or 2 on something like this. So, stick one here, stick one here. And then we tell this guy we want to keep... What do I have to tell this guy? I've never used these before, but I've seen them and they look cool. Keep 1 stone in there. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I have to go, you keep 1 stone in here. Or maybe they just don't work. Oh, I think I have to configure this one to be a No. I think there's a way to filter it so that it does specific amounts. It might be that diamond nugget. In fact, that's the only thing I can make. So that must be what it is. So again, I want to stress this works. It's just not what I would call ideal. and it's not a natural mechanic, as I said before. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I've just never seen it happen before. I'd prefer to have one in there at a time. So I think a diamond nugget would probably just be a diamond broken up, right? Yep. Let's go stick a diamond nugget on this thing and see if will obey our rules as far as how many I want in here. Now, when I pick all those out, and okay, I think it actually works. So if I throw a ton in here, excellent. So because of the diamond nugget, it's saying keep only exactly one in here at all times. That's exactly what I wanted. So perfect. And let me just so now I can just fill this up. When this one finishes, we're just gonna watch. When this one finishes, it should, yeah, pull it out because of the item filter and then pop exactly one in there. Alright, cool. Well, I'm gonna make some slates. Alright, bunch of slates later, I have enough to make 8 blood runes. I think that's what I want to need for the next tier of the altar. Other thing I want to make while I'm here is so I can see what's going on in my world of blood. Divination sigil. It's glass, blank slate. So grab the glass, and let's do this. Glass and a blank slate, and le blood orb. Did I do it wrong? I may need a tier 2 blood orb first, so for that I will need an emerald. We're actually should be very close to being able to do that. So I might be missing something here, but doesn't matter. Let's just go do this. Alright, let's break out the Canadian for a second. 3, 4, and this is just dutifully continued to make slates until it ran out of blood. So I think if I throw down 6, 7, 8. Alright. Stop making those. And in fact, oh god, look at all this junk I have in my inventory. We can cram some of the junk in the bag. This is like my life here. Cram some of the junk in the bag. And then pull out this guy. Visual glitch. Alright, so what we want to do now is put the grenade back down and get my dagger back out, and we need to fill this guy with a lot of blood because we're gonna make our tier 2 now. So I'm just gonna let this load up a bit. And we'll do 1 or 2 more rounds of that. And then I'm going to throw this emerald in here. Hopefully I put enough blood in there. Oh, let me get some apples too. See, with something like Spice of Life, that would actually be a pretty rowdy nerf. Because you can't really sit here and mash food when your food might change from... I mean, we got the blood swirls, so it should be working. Come on, boy. I want my blood altar. And my blood orb. Boom. Tier 2 blood orb. Now I can go make that rune of divination and do some other evil stuff. So basically we're going to work on getting this to tier 3 now as soon as we can. We'll do that. We'll probably want to go back to making slates. So real quick everyone, another derp. I just had these in the wrong slots. The weak blood orb worked fine to get the divination sigil. Divination sigil will tell me what's going on in my world. I don't have much of my blood network, but If I went down here, it would tell me it's a tier 2 blood altar, etc., etc. So, I've got the upgraded blood orb. I don't need this one as much. I have a blood orb. Yeah, it's gonna go. So now I got the magician's one. Let's bind that to myself. And then I'm also just gonna go put some stuff in my blood network and continue to make some sigils and get to where we need for a tier 3 altar. Alright, now this episode's been a lot of cuts, but basically I retooled this thing to make the next tier of blood altars, so it does one blank slate at a time, and this thing has an item filter set to reinforced slates. These are basically tier 2 slates that you need to make the better blood runes. These are blood runes, you need them to upgrade the altar. Watch tutorials for more information. This is just the basics. But basically we want to tier up, get up the tiers of blood altar as quickly as we can and try to make this stuff that we need as quickly as we can. I want to get into rituals as quickly as I can. So I'm getting a little glowstone here, and we're going to make 4 runes of self-sacrifice. These kind of give you a little more life points when you hurt yourself, which eventually we're going to have an alternative to injuring ourselves to power our blood altar, but for now it's kind of a necessity, so I'm just going to make a few of these, not a ton, but a few of these, so that when we do injure ourselves we get that much more. I think it's 10% cumulative per rune that you make. Alright, so I have to make sure I grab my blood orb back. So now when I go down and put these down, yeah, we're dry right now. So when I put these down, it should give me a little extra juice when I hurt myself by the altar. So you just have to remove these and replace them. And here. And now hopefully it'll be a little easier to keep this thing full. And we're going to continue to make these slates. We're going to need a lot of them, so I made about 40 slates, and I think we're going to end up having to convert most of them into these higher tier slates, which take a while to make and are rather expensive. Alright, well when I'm ready to make the tier 3 blood altar, we'll get back. Alright, I should have the runes I need to upgrade, so I think I need to go like one down. Alright, I should have the runes I need to upgrade now. I just need to make sure I do this right. So I think I go out, 1, and down, and then I want to go out 5. So 3, 4, 5. I think I need to put the runes here. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then on this side, so 1, 2, so 1, and then I gotta get this chest out of the way, it looks like. Move it, buddy. I'll get my transposer back as well. Got both my transposers back, correct? Or translocators? Yes, I did. Alright, so going out 1, it's like, they should touch, right? Well, almost touch. And this side I'm going to put down, I made some sacrifice runes even though we don't really have anything to sacrifice yet. I'll put those ones down on this side. 3, 4, 5. Oops. 4, 5. And right now, obviously, I'm not going for aesthetics in any way. I have plans for what I want the blood altar to do, but we're not there yet. I just want it to function as a tier, whatever blood altar. Oops. Darn it. I really don't want that empty space there. Great. And so I should be able to go 5. We've got them on all sides except this one over here, right? And let's just rip this out for symmetry's sake, just because I don't know how I'm going to have this set up afterwards. And then, so this is the only side left we haven't put altars or runes on. I do have 4 runes of self-sacrifice that I was just going to put up here with the other ones. Eventually, we won't be doing self-sacrificing. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that, but for now, we are. So we either have sacrifice runes that are useless or self-sacrifice runes that are useless. And then that should give me the blood runes I need to finish out this side, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, looks like I'm missing one. Let me go make that and place it. Alright, place the last rune, and now if I'm not mistaken, the last step is just 1, 2, glowstone, 1, 2, glowstone, 1, 2, glowstone, and 1, 2, glowstone. This should be tier 3 now. No, don't. Oh, jeez. No. Where's my divination sigil? Still says it's tier 2. I'm gonna have to figure out why. So we've got runes, 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 and... Okay, let me figure out why. Alright, so it turns out I just built the pillars a little too high off the ground, so I sunk them down 1 to the level they're supposed to be on, and now we have a tier 3 blood altar. Hooray! And now when I self-sacrifice, it should do even more good stuff, because I have more self-sacrifice runes. Yeah, alright, great. So we have a tier 3 blood altar. I need to make a tier 3 blood orb. But it takes 25,000 LP. And this sucker only holds 10,000 LP. Now you get out of there. Trying to make a point. The sucker only holds 10,000 LP. We're gonna have to find something to store excess LP into, so that we can dump it back in order to get that orb. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. Where's my grenade? We're gonna relocate that guy to right here. Alright, so let me figure it out. And we'll get it done. Alright, never done this before, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. So what I've done is I've went through and I've made a reinforced portable tank. 128 buckets. I should have made a drum now that I think about it, but that's okay. Just gonna put this sucker down right here. And then I'm gonna put a liquid transfer node on this. And immediately it's got some kind of blood looking stuff in it. And let's see if I can get it. Yep, there we go. So I don't know the transfer rate, but let's do this divination rune. It's very slow. So very slowly it's emptying this fluid into this tank. Then the idea is when I need to, you know, do the big upgrade, and you know what? I think it's time to get speed upgrades. Because that will make this go whoa, they're so expensive. I'll make a few speed upgrades. And then basically what we're going to do is I'm going to let this tank fill up with 128 millibuckets. I don't mind that I use the tank because I like looking at it. And then we're basically going to flip this around. So we'll pull the blood out of the tank or whatever it is, life essence, and dump it into here. And that should give us enough to actually fill up our life network. Or, you know, make this next tier blood orb is what I should say. And, yeah. So that sounds like a good plan to me. I'm going to work on that. Probably going to make some speed upgrades for this guy. And then we'll see what happens when it's time to make the blood orb. Alright, so I've got this bucket. I've got this thing, and it's got about, yeah, about 28,000 life points. This alone should have enough life essence, if I understand correctly. Because when you, where's my definition? Where see how it says I have a 9600 LP? That's equivalent to about 9600 millibuckets. Yeah, at least from how it was pumping out. So I don't know if these transfer nodes, like these tanks have an output mode. Let's see if it just works. No. Looks like we're going to have to put a liquid transfer node down. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is put another pipe down. And then I'll put the tank. Okay, this is going to be weird, but I'll put the tank here. And so I can get under here and put down liquid transfer node. There we go. That was the plan all along. So the stuff's getting sucked into here. It really has nowhere to go yet. But when I throw a block of gold in here, I'm hoping, as this gets drained, that this will start to... Okay, it's holding 800 millibuckets. Okay, well, it doesn't look like it's going to work. Oops. No, I didn't mean to do that. That really screwed things up. But it doesn't matter if... Okay, I see what's happening. It pipes in so slowly. Yeah, burnout. Alright, okay, yeah, look how slowly it pipes in. Okay, well, I think there's a rune that I can make that'll improve that. So it looks like I'm going to have to make some of those. Well, let's do that and see if that approach works. I mean, the other approach I could try. Let me just give it a try real fast, I guess. Where's my Kinade? I have a feeling this isn't going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. We'll wait till this guy's fill up. This doesn't actually take long with these self-sacrifice runes. I think 8 self-sacrifice runes, maybe I'll be able to keep up with this Kinade. Certainly give it a try before we give up. It's a shame though, because I like my tank contraption. It's been a while making it, and I think it's cool. But oh well. We go with what works in Minecraft, don't we? I seem to be keeping up, actually, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'm not quite keeping up, but I bet I could. I'm close to keeping up. I think it's gonna be good enough. I hope it is. You know what else? I have this pot here. Boom! It was good enough. Alright, well now I've got next tier blood orb. Cool. So, that opens up a lot of options for me. Now I can start doing rituals and stuff, and I can really be blood magic cool. I want to soak up the rest of this. And you know what? What's going to be cool? When it's done soaking this up, it's actually going to slowly drain from this tank. So, I'll just leave it like that for now. Yeah, cool. Oh, I'm glad that worked. And, of course, one thing I forgot to do was actually bind the orb to me so that this life essence would actually go into my pool. But here it goes. You know, at least I caught it. So I was wondering why the pool wasn't going down. I'm like, damn, this thing's keeping up? I can't. That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that actually wraps up this episode. That's all the time we have for this episode. So we had a pretty good episode. We got a lot of blood magic infrastructure done. We still have a little bit more to go, which we'll probably tackle next episode. Also, next episode, I'm hoping we can take all this work we've done into blood magic and actually put it to some use so that we can actually start doing some stuff with it. So that's my plan. As always, you know, the plans change depending on the mood and the moment. So we may end up doing something else like applied energistics. That's in the near future for us as well. So anyway, as always, if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch me. Y'all have a good one and take it easy.